As I sit here enjoying the evening sun, I'm thinking about students stuck at home, students who can't really be where they would like to be. I'm just back from a trip around the park on the bike with Jackie. It was good to be out and get some exercise. But none of us are really where we would want to be just now, are we? I suppose if you've got a garden, there's a chance to be sitting in the sun like I am. It's a great period of weather we're enjoying here in Scotland anyway. The summer, an early summer. And yet there's a sense in which we feel like it's not quite delivering for us. As I was cycling around the park, I was remembering that verse from Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 20. It says, "The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved." A real sense of disappointment in that. All that had been the promise of harvest, all that had been the promise of summer, hadn't quite come through for the people of God because things were not as they should be with them. In fact, in the following verse, God says that He identifies with His people right there where they are. He mourns where they mourn. He grieves where they grieve because He knows that they're far from Him. Jeremiah is an interesting book. The weeping prophet, of course, isn't he? But actually, he's the man who speaks about tearing up and breaking down. That's his calling. But also to plant and to build up. It's a mixed message. And I think maybe that's what that verse is about. It's a bit of a mixed message. In the midst of the sorrow, there's hope. And I want to encourage you, all of you, with where we're at just now at Tilsley, because it's a bit of a mixed message, isn't it? We're going on, we're pressing on with study, we want to keep following Jesus, we want to keep understanding what He's got for us next. And yet it does feel a bit disappointing. Not quite delivering what we were used to before. All the things that we enjoyed and the social activity of being at college, all the interactions, the face-to-face, the banter, all of that has been taken away at the moment. And yeah, with this very false thing of being online and being in virtual reality amongst one another, and even coffee break, it's rubbish, isn't it? But I suppose we're hopeful of what's yet to come. And we understand that God's doing something. He must be doing something in us right now and for us right now. Maybe refining. That's what Jeremiah goes on to say in chapter 9. He says, all of this that you're going to go through, you're going through it because God has got a job to refine and to test you as His people. And I suppose that's just helpful to remember that. I want you to keep that in focus as we go through the rest of the term. It's not easy. It's not easy for us as lecturers. I'm sure it's not easy for you as students. It must be really hard just to be staring at a screen 4 or 5 hours a day. It can be really tough. But I want you to remember the good times. I want you to remember the times we spent together as a little college family community. I want you to remember that that can still happen again. I want you to remember that the summer's not over. The harvest is not over. And there is possibilities for the future. I want you to be thinking about that as we go through the rest of these coming weeks. Not thinking about, this is what college is like now. But what college might be when we get back together in September, God willing. Of course, none of us knows whether that's actually going to happen as we had it back maybe in December or January. But of course, that's what we are praying for. That's what we hope to happen. And I hope you'll be praying towards that as well. I hope you'll be thinking about what God's got for you next. Really considering that. And not just writing it off. Not saying, God's torn it down. God's broken it. Torn it up. Broken it down. It's gone. But be thinking about the message of Jeremiah that says, no, I'm here also to plant. And I'm here also to build up. And I trust that in these coming days and weeks, you'll see the ways in which God is building you up, and the ways in which God is planting, grafting you into the person of Christ, and making you more like Him, even through these very strange circumstances. So I hope this wee message encourages you and keeps the chin up. Don't lose heart. Lots yet to learn, lots yet to do, lots yet to change in our lives. as we look to follow Jesus and become more like him. God bless you.